Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Dumb Dad Podcast. My name is Evan, and I'm a dumb dad.
Hey, everybody. My name is Kevin, and I'm a dumb dad. Hey,
Cheers, dummy.
Cheers.
Cheers to you, right there.
I'm just having a nice Fresca and grapefruit soda. It's a mocktail.
Oh, man. That sounds fantastic. I have a little bit
really
of
good.
Amaro here, but really what I'm sipping on is some Topo Chico in my Hamburglar glass.
Oh, nice. Amaro and Hamburglar Topo Chico.
Mixing it up over here.
The glamorous parenting life.
Exactly. As my children are currently being put to bed in a couple of rooms over. You might hear the tail end of what did we just get? We just bought brand new Little Blue Truck and Don't Let the Pigeon Drive the Bus, or one of those versions.
Whoa, are we getting a hot is there a new Little Blue Truck?
There's a new Little Blue Truck. It came out.
What's it called?
There's a new one. I don't remember. Hold on. I'll look it up while we're talking about it. Tell them what you like. You like Little Blue Truck, don't you?
I do like Little Blue Truck. I think the sequel was lackluster. The first one is solid.
The first one slaps, and so you're like, well, I'm going to buy the software
First one slaps, and then the second one is a cash grab. No, it's not. The second one's okay. Little Blue Truck leads the way. That's the city one. That one's okay. It's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But like literally the whole moral of the story is just fall in line. But the holiday ones are all cash grabs.
Sure.
The Halloween one, and then the Christmas one. But the Christmas is the thing. Christmas one's a cash grab, but it has glowing Christmas lights at the end, and that's always a hit with the kids. You're gonna turn the page and the page lights up. What a wonderful thing!
You got to face it into the light. It's kind of a tricky situation. I think makes a friend.
What do you mean you have to face it into the light?
Isn't that the one you have to like make sure the light is flashing in it, so otherwise it won't turn on? Or maybe that's another one of these books I have. Or like it's supposed to sprinkle lights or whatever, but only if there's kind of a light shining on it. It might be a frozen one. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, yours
looks
is
like
broken.
It was Little Blue Truck makes a friend. Makes a friend. I think that's the new one.
The whole first book is about him having friends. Ugh, God.
Well, they're going right. They're writing what they know. They're going right back to what made them popular in the first place.
Here's the thing, and I know everybody's saying it, so I know I'm just kind of repeating what everyone's saying. But the Matrix and Little Blue Truck are the same thing. It's just like you should have stopped at the first one, and all these spin-offs are unnecessary. And now Little Blue Truck Makes a Friend is basically the new Matrix movie that was like, why did we make this?
Also, I don't really want to, stop anybody's hustle. I think Little Blue Truck's trying to make $1 million. Let's not
make that money, Little Blue Truck.
Get that money, Little Blue Truck.
We read Little Blue Truck often. It's good.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, and then Don't Let the Pigeon Drive the Bus. Good one. Mo Willems, fantastic, a children's author. So. Great. Yeah, man, how are you, buddy? It's been. We're getting close. We're getting so close to being able to see each other.
It's wild.
We were just traveling, so after your bout with COVID, and then we went up to Seattle this past weekend for my brother's wedding. So we were looking forward to that. We were being really careful before we had to travel. But yeah,
right.
Yeah. So now we're back. We're back. Head first, running, hit the ground running back into school this morning after getting home at about midnight last night.
That was How did everybody do?
Pretty good, actually.
Kids did fine?
Much better than last year. Our school district had like 2 extra days off at the front and tail end of this holiday weekend, of Labor Day weekend. And so my wife instinctively, like 6 months ago, thought, I'm going to get off. I'm going to book off the Wednesday and the Tuesday, so I get all the time as well. Mm-hmm. And then this year they were like, it's just Thursday to Monday. Or Friday to Monday. Mm-hmm. Just Friday to Monday. It was just a regular long weekend. Luckily she had it off today. So from the rest of the perspective, it was kind of a good ease back into the week, but still having to take him to school. But he was fine. He was a little worried he was going to be tired all day long. But, we were like, you're 7, you're
never tired. If I've learned anything from bedtime, you're never tired.
You're never tired.
You went to Seattle for your brother's wedding.
For my brother's wedding.
Congratulations.
Yes, congratulations to him and his beautiful wife again. It was an awesome wedding. My mom did the flowers for the wedding. So that was pretty cool.
Cool.
She kind of was the wedding decorator to us, but really the whole thing was about like 100 and however many a year ago. She started kind of planning the process of like growing all the flowers for the wedding, which you think, wow, that's cool, that'll be awesome, and then you go to her house and you're like, this was a lot of work.
Yeah, I bet.
mean,
Growing
like,
flowers.
This massive piece of her backyard was just, I don't know what you call them, like they're like troughs or whatever of just flower beds, like high raised flower beds that were just, I mean,
Raised.
They're everywhere.
Beds,
It looks amazing, but it takes a lot. So, but it was cool. But it was
That's amazing.
nice to be home with family, and it was a nice wedding.
And you went to a wedding with your children, which, let me check my notes, is the worst.
Yes. Now here's the thing: there were no children at the wedding, but my children were in the wedding. So that's where kind of the situation was. The only kids that were there was probably like, I don't know, like maybe 6 or 7 kids, something like that. But essentially there really weren't that many kids at the wedding at all, which was cool because they all ran around and played with each other. They got married in this, I mean, it's like this wedding sanctuary, this gorgeous place. And, but there was like this, a bunch of sort of like fields to run around. They're running around and everything while the music played and stuff. So it was hilarious. So the wedding was beautiful. They get introduced. When they get introduced, one of their friends had like a money gun. So when they came in, they like shot this money gun and like money flew out.
Shot a money gun at them.
Yeah. It was $100 bills for motion picture only, but the kids got a real kick out of walking around with like $1,200 rolled up in their socks. But I have a travel dumb dad moment, which we'll get to in a moment. But I've been waiting to tell you the story the whole time. My son was he claims that he was told to do this, but one of my buddies is over here enjoying a cigar, right, on the outskirts of the wedding, and he sees my son run by with a bunch of kids, and he goes, hey, I'll give somebody $100 if they eat one of these leaves. And so some kid's like, okay, I'll do it. So he eats a leaf, and my son goes, here you go, $100. The next kid like, I'll do it. He's like, okay. So like 3 kids line up, I'll eat a leaf. So he's passing out these $100.
Your son was passing out $100
of fake money to pay kids to eat leaves off these plants.
And somebody put him up to it?
That's what he says. He says, well, somebody told me to do it. It's like, well, okay. You didn't have to do that.
Well, definitely somebody told him to do it. Because why would he think of that? That's just insane.
I don't know. Well, that's maybe a little bit of the concern. I'm not really sure.
Was any of your family members a little extra tuned up? And they were just like, I got a great idea.
I don't know. No, I don't think it was any of my. None of my family members were extra tuned up. But as always at a wedding, there's a few of them.
There's a few of them
that just hit the open bar one too many times. Coincidentally, also the people that keep the dance floor alive. So,
they're important. They're needed at weddings.
They're important,
and they're needed at they need the brunch the next morning.
Yeah.
So what was your dumb dad moment? Dumb dad moment.
Yeah, my dumb dad moment of the week, traveling moment was so we took off out of Burbank, which is a local sort of medium-sized airport over here in the valley.
It's tiny.
It's tiny. Yeah, I guess it's.
Yeah,
I've been to smaller airports, so I don't really know. But it's not like a. It's probably on the small. It's much on the smaller scale, small scale airport. Anyway, didn't have to go to LAX. Thank goodness. It's rough. I've had to do it a couple times going from LAX to SeaTac, to big airport to big airport with kids and everything is not great. So
yeah,
here's the first dumb dad moment we made. So we decided, here's the thing. Do we have somebody bring us to the airport, or do you drive yourself, or do you do the Uber, or what? But at this point, when you got two car seats coming with you, or a car seat and a booster, and like 3 sets of big bags, it just starts to pile up with kids. I mean, I don't have to tell you that traveling with kids is all of a sudden you turn around and it's like, how long are we staying? You got all this stuff with me
for a weekend,
right? So, is it really worth calling the Uber? Like, if you call the ride share, it's like it quotes you at like it's like $65 or whatever it is. It's like okay. Because I have to get the bigger car because you can't just get a regular car because stuff's not going to fit in there. So you have to order the premium car. Well, you do the math at the airport, really the general parking at the airport, it's only like another $60-$70 or something like that. Now, when I was younger, it's like, I'm getting a ride from my friend if I can. We'll strap whatever we can to the roof of their car, right? But when you're an adult and you really do have money for something like that, you have to weigh it, whether it's worth spending your money doing that or saving the money and then dealing with figuring out how to do the ride share and everything. And we decided, what? I'd rather just spend the money for the convenience of just going to the airport in my car and then leaving from the airport in my car, knowing that we have kids, knowing it'll be midnight when we come back. All these things weigh
Were
into
you
it,
concerned you wouldn't be confident you had your children?
Well, no, just saying that they're going to be there. They're just going to be around.
It'd be nice knowing I have my kids with me, because that's always a dicey situation.
So here's the stupid mistake we made.
Because you're worried about talking to the Uber driver the whole time. You're not really like paying attention who's in the car.
If my social
how long have you been doing?
Kicks in,
how long have you been doing this? Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Do you get? What's the weirdest thing that's ever happened?
Don't touch that. Did you just drop that on the floor? So here's what we do. We go to the airport. We all park in general parking, and then we're like wearing the backpack on the back, the kid's backpack on the front, carrying a suitcase, duffel bag on the left shoulder. Wife's in the same situation. Daughter doesn't want to walk, so she's carrying the daughter, all the stuff. We walk like all the way from general parking with all of our stuff all the way across, like under the bridge, and then finally across the jetway. And here we are. Now we're at the gate. Now we're at we're at our airline. And then like as soon as we get there, it was like, why didn't we just drop everybody off in the car? And then have one of us go park the car and walk over.
That was a really bad idea.
It didn't even go inside of the airport before we realized that was like the stupidest thing we could have done.
Well, you didn't get inside the airport because you're so upset at your situation, and then you go, "Oh, we're so stupid."
I was also down on one knee, panting really hard, and needed water after carrying all that stuff, like
almost licking a taxi puddle. Now here's a question: did you flirt with making that mistake on the way back?
No, wasn't even close.
No, wasn't even close.
You were talking. Here's the worst part.
You were talking about it. You were talking about when it went boom, and then you hear all the seatbelts come off, and everybody's sitting there with their heads sideways because I don't know reasons.
Yeah. Yep. Upon landing, I was like, "Give me the keys. Give me the keys." The other thing I don't want to do is walk all the way to the car and then forget the keys.
Or the kids.
That was the first thing.
That's important.
Yes. And the point was,
it's good to know that you have the kids.
No, the keys, the car.
No, I know, but before you said, I like to bring my own car. That way I know I have the kids. And I was like, oh.
Yeah, I got you.
It was phrasing.
So, anyway, what we thought was the dumb dad moment was also not bringing, I think you have this too, or you've had this before too, you have the cart that the car seat sits on, so you're wheeling that around like a suitcase.
It's the best.
First time in like 6 or 7 trips. Totally forgot it. So we were carrying the car seat with us.
That sucks because your daughter didn't want to walk.
Mm-hmm.
You had the solution in your garage.
Yes. So we thought that was like, what a dumb. We kind of realized that as we were like unloading the car. I was like, we forgot the car seat, the car seat wheels. Dumb dad moment. That was stupid. Now we got to carry all this stuff. As we're carrying all this stuff all the way across the parking lot. Gee. Anyway, the trip went well other than that, but that was that was kind of like not a great start. That was not the start we were looking for.
Not a great start. False start.
We made it through.
Hey, I'm happy for you. We have had a massive heat wave here that is still not let up. It won't let up until this weekend, but it has been.
Yeah, it'll be down to 99.
Yeah, it will. It's been like 105 at least, up to 110. So what was funny is my parents last week around this time were like, hey, this weekend's a long weekend. We were thinking of coming down and visiting you. And I was like, no, we will visit you. And my mom was like, it's going to be really hot where I am. because she's in India, which is like the Palm Desert, area. It's the desert. And I was like, no, I know, I checked. The weather is going to be the same. The weather in the desert where she is going to be the same.
And correct me if I'm wrong.
Los Angeles.
But they got a
They
pool.
have a pool. They got a pool. We don't have a pool. So we were like,
Chestnut
we'll be
Checkers
there.
mom will be straddling up it.
So they were like, oh, okay. And this is the first time going to my parents since my son had that little scare in the pool with him falling in, and then we had
But he's been in
swim
he's
lessons.
been in classes, yes? He's been in classes.
He's taken 8 lessons because we had to take a break with COVID. It was like so annoying. We should be like done these classes by now, but it's fine.
Oh, right.
Yeah, we took like a month break. So, we go to my parents' house and we talked to the instructor before, like after the last class before visiting my parents. And we said, all right, so what's the rules? We're going to a pool. And she was like, just no floaties. That's it. That's the only rule. Like, don't put any floaties on him, but like, you don't have to give him a class at your parents' house. Just like go, just have fun. And I was like, great, cool. So my wife and I were both like, well, this is going to be a lot of work because he has no floaties.
Right.
The safety net is you've removed it on purpose.
The Band-Aid's been pulled. There's no more. Yeah.
So we got there we arrived around like 7 p.m. It's still like 100 degrees there. And my parents were like, do you guys want to go for a night swim? And we were like, absolutely. Like the kids been in a car it was a horrible drive. It was like 5 hours. So it was like, yeah, let's all go in the pool. And they have lights and stuff. And we put on the lights and we get in the pool and my wife and I, so we're going to be there for 4 days right away. My wife and I are like, uh-oh. Cause my son, he gets in and he's just like, we were like, yeah. So to my parents, I was like, watch this, mom and dad, like watch what he can do. And he's like, yeah, watch me. I can swim. And he just like dives in the water. So there was no scares or anything like that, but we were definitely just like, oh, this is going to be like work when we're in the water.
Right.
And he was just constantly just diving in and we're just like holding him up like, all right, I guess we are going to be giving you a lesson because like we can't help it because you're just going for it.
So he's confident in what he's been learning in class, but I'm assuming he can't swim at all. I mean, like you can't just like sit on the side and let him go. So he can't swim yet, really.
So we were there for 4 days. He can swim now.
Yes.
Day one was a nightmare. I mean, he was just sinking, and obviously we're holding him up. It was never a swallowing water situation, but it was just like, oh man, all right, buddy, we're just gonna have to.
Was he bringing his knowledge to?
Yes.
Could you see that like he had? Oh, that's great.
Yes. Yeah, and then by the next day, we were like, we got in the pool in the morning, and we're like, he's already a little bit better than he was last night. That's good. He's kind of got his bearings. Then he goes down for a nap. He wakes up from nap, back in the pool. Now it's like, I think he can swim. Next day he's swimming. And he was just, you definitely still have to be there. He's definitely not 100%, but it's like,
right.
Oh, it worked. It worked. He can hold his breath for an incredible amount of time. Because there was a couple moments we like dove at him because we were like, all right, swim over there, and
sure.
He's swimming across this little area and we're like staying close to him. His head has not come up for air, like completely under because he's got goggles on and he's under. And I go to grab him and he lifts his head up. He's like, and he goes back under and you're like, all right, man.
That's the biggest thing right there, right? That he knows, so that he knows even if he falls in to hold his breath until he gets himself
flip on his back.
That's like that's like the most massive thing. That's awesome from the classes.
So it was funny going back to
still 100% nerve-wracking for you guys, but great for him.
Nerve-wracking because now he's got this confidence that isn't great because like until he can really swim, like my daughter, we're not worried about. She would never do this,
right? Because
she's old enough. But if I turned around and she was just in a pool, I'd be more like, "What are you doing?" More than like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
But
I don't think my son's quite there, but it's still our kids are at the age where they've kind of our older kids are kind of at the age where they've they essentially learned how to swim, but now they just have to go swimming a lot in their youth to become stronger swimmers. Does that make sense? Sort of like the basic tools are there, but it's like you're only going to get better because you do it more.
Yeah, and that's what it was for my son. Like that's why he was by the end of the week, and then he had class today, and we went back there, and he walked up to her and he walks right up to his teacher and goes, "I can swim," and she goes, "We're learning. You're getting there," and I went, "Actually, I don't know. Let him go." And she was like, "Oh, really?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, we were at my parents all week," and she let him go. She was like, "Oh, okay." And she was obviously, and I knew this, but she was pointing out, she's like, he's got some ways to go, and we're like, for sure.
Yeah.
But, I mean, there's a whole different.
Sure. You remember when we were here last time?
Yeah. You remember why we're here? Do you remember why we're here?
Because we know we remember why.
So yeah, we had that, and then a big piece of mind is my dad got this. He got this like a few months ago. We were all just kind of, and this is before the incident before the incident with my son. We were all just like worried because my son and my nephew, who is the same age as my son, they both know how to open the back door. And then there's just that fear because my parents have a pool with no gate, and there's just that fear.
So there's no fence around it or anything.
There's no fence around it, so you can just open that thing and just walk back there and have fun. So my dad got this like battering ram kind of jam for the sliding door, and we've been making sure that thing was on every night when he first got it months ago, but especially now that my son has got this cocky, man, I got this. We were just every night, I'm like,
I'm gonna go take a dip. We'll be back in 10.
Moving, yeah. It's just like, kind of hot. I need to cool off in the pool. A little nighttime
Relax. We'll be back. Yeah.
So yeah, that was.
We always
that
just
was
put like a broken off broomstick in the bottom of the slider when we were kids.
Did you?
But I'm sure he could move. Yeah. He could pick that up. I'm assuming yours is it like a brace in the middle that he can't.
It's a brace that you can put. It's a brace you can put anywhere. So obviously, me being 6 foot, I put it as high as possible.
Yeah. No one is going outside.
6 feet.
No
high.
adults. Yeah. No one is going outside.
Wake me if you want to go outside. Also, don't wake me.
Exactly. Exactly.
But it was funny. We went on. We got to go on a date. My wife and I. That was nice for her birthday. We kind of made it a birthday date. And that was wild. Going out without kids. Haven't done that in forever.
I didn't mention.
Did you take advantage of that on your trip home?
No. It was such it was such a short trip because of the focus was obviously the wedding. Yeah, I mean that's and then so I was the best man, and which also just meant
that's right. We talked about this on the last pod.
Yeah,
you had a speech.
So, had to do a speech. Got to do a speech. Yeah. So it was. It had to. Yeah, forced.
Yeah.
He wrote it.
Can you imagine if they're like, and now the best man is going to give a speech. Pass. I'm good.
Good. Cheers.
Oh my God. What do you want me to say? No, just pass to somebody else.
You guys are already talking about each other. Like, can we just open up the dance floor already? But at the same time, it was also my wedding anniversary this weekend. So it was sort of like, and so we kind of found little ways to like sneak away and dance with each other and stuff, and I had flowers delivered to like my parents' house. I was trying to just keep it a little bit like, I know that's the focus of the wedding, but
sure.
Also our wedding anniversary. So we try to find little ways to celebrate all weekend when we could. So no date night, but it was kind of fun to sort of use.
Didn't get to individually celebrate our anniversary.
Yeah.
But
so that's kind of
get a couple dances in, move on.
And like little moments, maybe we found a way to like make it feel like a date night, even if we just check in with each other and
sure.
So yeah, my son, my son was just Leisure Suit Larry over there with his shirt undone all the way down to the bottom of his chest, handing out hundreds, sweating bangs like from running around, like. He just needed a tiny mustache, and he would be like, he'd just be owning the place. And then my daughter was like,
smoking his self-rolled cigarettes.
Exactly. It was great. My daughter was well over it. I mean, like, I think we were at the venue, like the wedding started at 3:30, and they was there till like 9, essentially, I think they had somewhere around there. But it was like 4:45, 5 o'clock. My daughter's like, I want to go home.
It's 4:45, 5 o'clock.
We're gonna be here for so much longer. So, but after after dinner that we had, they opened up the dance floor and it was like, music's too loud. A couple dances with her, but like that you'd be willing to like dance with her, hold her, But then she went and sat with my sister and like fell asleep on her lap. I mean, it's like, 4-year-old. Imagine this, man. Like, I'm sure you do at certain points of your childhood. It's like, so over it. Doesn't even matter what's going on. I'm checking out of this place. Like, she's asleep 5 feet from the dance floor when there's just music like pumping and everyone's cheering and dancing, and she's just like completely passed out in my sister's lap.
You're like, maybe we are going to get that date night.
I know.
You give your kid $100 to go away.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so fantastic trip. And a good anniversary. Good, always good to see the folks and everything. So it was cool.
Awesome. That's cool. Congrats again.
So back on the grind, back in the heat.
Back in the heat.
What did we have today? At 4:00 today was like, turn off all your power. We got those messages.
Yeah,
today
we got a couple
in
alerts today. It sounded like I was lying to my kids about them not being being able to go on screens.
I know.
They were like, "Can we watch a show?" And I was like, "No, we have to turn off all the power because we could lose power. So we're trying to save as much as." It sounds like I'm lying. It sounds like I made this up.
It sounds like I'm making them as I'm talking to you.
Yeah. But we did. We turned off, we kept the AC on because this house immediately heats up and we just couldn't do it. I actually left. So when we went to visit my parents, I turned off the AC. And, close all the windows, all the blinds, all the curtains and everything. The house is just shuttered in. And then we left, and then, I have a Nest, so I was able to check on my phone and be like, what's the temperature like inside of our house?
What if the house is melting? What if the house is a puddle in the front yard?
Yeah. I was like, I know it's 110 outside. What's it inside? It was 95 inside our house. And anybody wondering, no, I don't leave out my butter. Because that would be a real dumb down moment.
We used to do that. That's how we used to leave our butter out. And then, it only took the first summer living in California to realize, I think the butter, now we're a fridge household.
We're a fridge household. I take it out. Yeah. It's a seasonal thing now. That's how it works in our house. It's a seasonal thing. I see. Yeah, we cannot do it in the summer. Out of the question. Even with the AC on, it still somehow melts.
I know. Before we had it, we'd go. It was like we'd go get the butter. It was a butter dish and just lift up the top, and it was just like bleh. It's like soup that's just been waiting to be released.
Yeah,
exactly. All over your counter.
I will say, with the heat, it kind of leads into a dumb dad moment. Dumb parenting moment. So just to we get home, we're with the kids, it's 1,000,000 degrees out, and what are we going to do? The kids were just kind of on devices, so it's like we can't go outside. They don't really want to play games. And I was like, let's go to Target, because actually we need to get a filter for the AC. The little screen,
and they have their AC on filter. And it's pumping.
And their AC's on and it's pumping, and you guys can run through this big store and let's get some energy out. So we go there just to get the filters. $250 later.
What happened?
We bought some wild shit. We bought, I got some, my wife and I like to get this air fryer fried chicken. So I got a couple bags of that, and then I got a bag of fries. And because it's so hot, my wife and
You're about $225 short, Kevin.
We're not communicating well. My wife gets 2 bags of fried chicken and fries, and neither of us noticed they're already in the cart. And so we're just doubling up purchases. We get them each a toy. And I got a Lego Christmas Advent calendar because they're selling them now. And I was like, all right, might as well grab one of these. I'm going to want it.
That's insane. They're blowing through Just 2 holidays.
They sure are. They're setting up for Halloween. We ignored that. But
Right.
yeah, we just got some groceries and other stuff. And here's the funny thing. So we went to Target, to get some energy out, but also to get these filters that we needed. $250 later, still didn't get the filters. They were sold out. I had to go to another store.
I'm going in by myself here. No, I'm going in by myself. You guys sit here. Mm-hmm. You're not coming with me.
The car is plenty air conditioned.
Yeah. What's that box? Well, I needed the filters, and then there's a cool tool on sale. Don't worry about it.
I have to say, having your family waiting for you in the car is the safest thing you can do for your wallet if your husband is going into a hardware store. Because
right.
I just had to get in and out. And I still had like wandering eyes of just like, what's that over there? That looks
cool.
pretty nice.
Come on, get battery powered now. That's awesome.
I mean, it's got a solar charger? What?
This barbecue is so much nicer than mine. Mine's got dirt and crap all over, rusty spots. Filters.
Driftwood flavored smoked wood. What?
Focus on filters. Sir, are you finding everything at filters? Where are your filters?
Filters.
Coffee filters? Yeah, we'll take a look at those.
Where are they?
It's a dangerous place to be. You made it out alive. That's good.
Made it out alive.
You're going to want to have those filters, man, on that AC, because it's going to be working overtime in the next week or so.
Yes, it is. So we'll be on that. And then I have one last, just a quick dumb dad moment. Not really much. It's just a small thing. It's not a big deal. So I might have been voted president of the PTA. So there's that.
I can't believe you did that. I can't believe you waited to do that at the end of the podcast. You sly dog.
I know people are interested in the PTA stories, so I wait till the end to get the teaser.
That's rich.
President.
Well, congratulations, Mr. President.
Commander in grief. That's me.
You've been waiting all week to say that one.
I honestly just thought of it off the top of my head, and I was really proud of myself.
That's really good. That's really that's sharp and fast. You're going to have to be that way. Well, you're not really going to have to be that way.
Yeah, I don't know what I have to do. But we'll get to it.
Well, let us know when you figure out who's going to start making the flyers, because you got to find a flyer person.
Yeah, I got a whole situation. I'm gonna get big things coming. I don't know. You gotta start working on the election already, right? Isn't that what you're supposed to do? Am I thinking about presidents?
Thinking about the future.
U.S. presidents. You got to start on the re-election campaign right away.
Yeah. At this rate, you'll be principal next year, so you're really going to have to...
I'm going to disappear is what's going to happen. TikTok. Mediocre TikToker disappears after becoming PTA president.
Listen, the amount of PTA stories is going to ramp up this year, and they're only going to get more intense. And I appreciate you, Kevin, for bringing that to that to our content.
Listen, I do it for everyone else, you know.
Right.
I do it for the smiles
on school.
I do it for the smiles on your faces. Maybe I don't know if you're smiling because I can't see you. I can't see you listening to this, but I do it for all of you.
Oh, fantastic stuff. Well, hey. If you had a dumb dad moment this week, why don't you write into us at dumbdadpod@gmail.com, or you can DM us on Instagram, dumbdadpod, at dumbdadpod on Instagram. You can send us a DM, direct message of your story, and we'd love to read them on the podcast because we talk about our own often, and it helps to feel normalized in our own stupidity. And this trying to navigate this wonderful world we call parenting. And if you're watching us on YouTube, go ahead and give us a subscribe and a like if you want to do that. That'd be awesome. Or review the podcast on iTunes. And hey, you know what? You could put a dumb dad moment on there, and that'd be fantastic. I would love to read a reviewed dumb dad moment on iTunes. So how about that? What do you say, Kevin? Did I about cover it?
You did such a good job. I'm really proud of you.
Thanks, pal. Thanks, buddy. Well, before we jump on out of here, I'd like to tell you a joke.
Please do.
Okay, ready for this one?
Yes.
What does a zombie vegetarian eat?
Artichoke hearts?
Grains. It fits, really.
Healthy. I mean, but it's not healthy.
Yeah, no, true. But, you can carb a load in the morning, I think, because you have all day to burn it off. We're not parenting experts or health eating experts. And that won't be the first time we'll have to say that.
We don't know if we can
joining us
claim we're doing our best. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Welcome to the world, little one. Welcome to life.
How do I stop this?